Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Leaders of Impact. Today we're going to go through and cover more into that identity, the self-belief, the never forgetting why you started, because when you are someone that is really focused and driven to make positive change in this world, in your community, in your team, whatever it might be, you need to have an absolutely unshakable inner core, because you will get pushed back. You will get people that don't agree with you. You will have people that don't like you and that you are not keen on either. And all of that is okay. And this is one thing that I want you to get really comfortable on, is things don't always go to plan. This is why having a really strong focus, a really strong vision, and being really clear on who you are and what drives you is so necessary. Because when things do get hard, that means you have that inner drive that keeps on nudging you forward. You might take the knocks, it might slow you down, and some days you might think, why on earth am I doing what I'm doing? But then you'll get up the next day and keep on going. So let's just start with the identity and the belief first, because even within that, having that inner confidence, and we speak about this a lot because it is really necessary, having that inner belief in that you can forge your way through, that you can carve your path, enables you to keep on going forward. Now, being able to do that means being really clear on your values. So do you know what you stand for? And that might seem like a really obvious question, but think about it like this. If someone literally said to you, what do you stand for? What are your beliefs? Would you be able to really clearly, succinctly answer it? If you, even where you're thinking about that, if it's made you pause and think, well, actually, hang on. If someone asked me that, what would I say? Then I encourage you to even hit pause on this and take time and go and think about that, because everything is about being in alignment. Now, when you look at who you are, is being able to define yourself as in the inner feeling, knowing what lights you up, knowing what sparks you, knowing what makes you unhappy, knowing what gets frustration, knowing where you won't take no for an answer. These are the things that are within you. Now, quite often when someone says, what defines you, who are you, people may say, oh, I'm a mother, or if it was me, I'm a coach, might describe things and people and situations around you, but that is not you. That is around you. That is a part of your world and a part of your life. So I'm talking about, for you, what lifts you? What do you feel really strongly about? So if you've ever been watching TV or listening to the news, is there anything that's really hit you hard and just that's really shaken you up? Something that really matters to you? If it has, note that down. Are you someone that's quite strong on social justice? Are you someone that's quite strong on process driven environment? So, if things aren't quite right within your organization, you're like, I've got a way to get a better flow. And you can literally hyper focus and zone in and see how it all fits. Think about if you're more of a people-based person, if you're more of a task-orientated, more process, more relationship. What kind of person are you? What can you wholly immerse yourself in that doesn't completely drain you, that actually energizes you? And then that's how you'll get some answers on path, because sometimes I do see people in roles and they are exhausted. It is sucking the life out of them. And quite often they might justify that it's because they've just got a lot going on, or, they're busy. But tell me this, when your day is so full of things that you really not necessarily like, I'm going to rephrase that, because sometimes you're not always going to like everything you do. But if it's filled with things that matter to you, it's a whole nother lift. It comes from flow rather than force. It's a more sustainable way of being. That is what you need if you're going on to creating sustainable long-term impact, because it means you can continue with the momentum. So number one, get really clear on your values, really clear on your beliefs, what lights you up internally. And also get comfortable that people will judge you. Not everyone likes you. And you know what? You will still feel, quite possibly, even when you get comfortable with it, you might still, read things or hear things who are like, oh, that didn't feel good. And it might set you back. But what happens is over time, you get back up and recover from it faster and faster. This is really important to bear in mind because I see so many people holding back on doing great things because of the fear of what other people think. You are the only one living your life. You are the only one that can create what your vision is and bring to the world what you do. And the more you hold yourself back because you're worried about what someone else thinks, the more time's just going to pass. And there is no right time to start. There really isn't. So get comfortable with the judgment and even lean into it. If it's something that you do need to unpack, then think, okay, well, what does this mean? Does this mean I'm actually really on the right track? Does this mean that because I'm so strong in my belief, I will either attract the right people on that path because I'm resonating such a strong message and repelling the people that are not on the same path, which that's actually what you want. If you're trying to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one. And this is where being really strong in what your focus is, what you're trying to create, how you communicate it is absolutely crucial, because then other people will come along the way because they will be able to really identify with you and with what you are creating. So be bold in what you're looking to do. Be innovative. And you'll notice quite a lot, I kind of pause and think, and I do create gaps, and that's normally intentionally, because normally if I'm speaking to someone else, I'll create gaps for them to think. But the reason why I say be innovative is trust your own thoughts and your own imagination and creativity. Quite often, what I see now is people type in their idea to whatever software it is and ask for answers. Take time out, literally get just a blank notepad and just go off and sit and just start writing and see what comes up, because that's what lights up the different pathways in your brain. That's how you start to get the creativity. It doesn't have to be right, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just start. So clarifying on that, get clear on who you are, look at what either really niggles you or really lights you up, look at what drives you, sparks momentum. Think of what you are really strong on, what your really bold vision would be, and what you've been too scared to do. What impact do you want to create in this world? Because we are here for a short time. And if you're wanting to go into a leadership position, why? It's not just, I say this, it's not just for significance. And from my opinion, it's just my view, you might disagree, it shouldn't be just trying to get notoriety. If you want to go into leadership, the most powerful way possible is when you go in with the intent to create a difference on something bigger than you. Because that means you will drop the worry and the fear and that lens of looking through and worrying how everything lands on you, and your focus will be the external impact. It will be on how you connect and communicate with other people. You'll be able to see more on what their aspirations are and be able to connect and see if they're the right people for what they're intended to do within, whether it be their role, either in the organisation or the community. You'll be able to see if people are best placed to be able to work with them on supporting them to get in the right direction to achieve the ultimate objective that you're all working towards. But having the direction and the purpose yourself is what will drive it. So where do you want to go from here? Why do you even want to be in leadership? Ask yourself that. Is it just about yourself? Do you want to see what your boundaries are? Is it significance? If so, why? What do you feel like you've been missing to this point as to why you need a leadership role for significance? Because ultimately, sometimes it's interesting because that does bring up a form of awareness of things to start working on. So it's great from that perspective. But if once you've been through that, then your focus is still only within yourself, then again, it's time to start looking at, as a leader, what is the gap between yourself and the external, as in, I've mentioned before, teams, organization, community. Who are you leading? And what is the impact that you leave with them if your focus is on yourself versus if your focus is on them and what the effect is from their work on the ultimate outcomes that you're wanting to achieve. This episode is very much dedicated on the impact and your part within that and your focus. So where do you sit within that? What impact do you want to create? Who are you? Who do you need to become to achieve what you want to? And what do you need to let go of to be able to flow forward? Thank you so much for listening. I will see you in episode 9.